Movie Talk, where I talk about shows, movies, and books that might interest you. I'm Selina Flores, your host, and I hope you enjoy. Do you like the idea of time traveling? Do you like fighting, delinquents, friendship, love, heartbreak? Well, I have the perfect manga and anime for you. It's called Tokyo Revengers. Tokyo Revengers is about 26-year-old Takemichi Hanagaki, who when he was watching the news, he learned that his girlfriend back in middle school, Hina Tachibana, has died, as well as a younger brother. The only girlfriend he has ever had was killed by a crime organization called Tokyo Magigang. Takemichi lives in a crappy apartment with thin walls, plus he's a complete and total loner. At the height of his rock bottom life, he's suddenly pushed into the oncoming train and time loops 12 years back into his middle school days to save Hina and change the life he spent running away from hopeless part-timers. Takemichi must aim for the top of Tokyo most sinister gang. What I just talked about is a description that's given to you like when you read the manga and like when you search it up. But I want to go more into detail about the character because just reading that doesn't really give you much about the main character. So I'm going to talk about the first episode, so it's spoiler alerts about the first episode. So when Takemichi time travels back to the past, he wakes up in a train station and he's very confused about what's happening. You know, he almost got hit by a train. He's very confused, so he hears his friends call out to him. He's just really shocked because he hasn't seen these people since middle school. So he points out all his friends, and they start walking. They're like, "Come on, you're being too slow." So he starts walking, but he sees himself in the mirror, and he realizes, "Oh, who is this guy? Like, I'm back in my middle school days." Like, he checks his pockets, he sees his phone. He's like, "Oh, so nostalgic and all that." When he starts, and then after a while, he's hanging out with his friends still, and he starts thinking like, "This is so weird. Like these are like why am I getting these flashbacks? And, like this is how you die. Like these are the flashbacks. They're really so long. It feels like a whole day." And his friends start talking about how they want to fight. They want to fight some kids, and that it's okay because Takemichi's cousin is one of the leaders, so they won't get in too much trouble when they do. So y'all make a name for himself, obviously. So Takemichi's just like thinking like, yeah, I guess, like I don't know what you guys are really talking about. So throughout the day, his friends are like tormenting kids and just like going around asking like where their second years are. And Takemichi's following them back. He's still very confused. He's still thinking about like how this is like crazy and all. But they come around, but when they stop and they're just talking to each other, these kids come and they ask like, "Oh, what are y'all doing? Why are you guys asking for our second years?" They're obviously older, and they get scared. They're like, "Oh, we're just like here, like, we're just here, just asking for a fight, I guess. But we know your leader." And the guys are like, "What? Like our leader?" And they're like, "Yeah, Takemichi's cousin." And he was like, "Oh, him? Sure." Like he's like, "Oh, him." And they turn to him and they're like, "Oh, go get us some drinks. Go buy some stuff." And they realize that Takemichi's cousin is an errand boy. He was just saying that to Takemichi just to make himself look better. And Takemichi, he realizes like what's about to happen because obviously it happens before. He remembers like these are memories. So he's telling his friend like to stop talking, let's go, let's run. But by the time he was able to say that, they all got beat up. After they all got beat up, he just thinks to himself like, why am I living these like memories back? Like why are these memories coming back? Like why are these memories coming back, and why are they the worst memories? Why do I have to relive these worst memories? And he just gets frustrated. But then he thinks about one person. He thinks about Hina. And like his friends are all getting up and he's like, "Sorry guys, I have to go." So he goes to Hina's house. He finds her like apartment and he goes up to the door and he rings the doorbell. But he thinks to himself, like, "No, this is stupid. Like, why am I even like coming back? Like, this is stupid. Like, I don't even care. Why should I care? I haven't seen her in forever." But at the door, and Takemichi starts crying. She's like, "Why are you crying? Like, what? Did you get beat up again?" He's like, no, I just want to see you." And she's like, "Okay." She was like, "That's kind of weird. Like, you never act like this." And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go now. And she's like, okay, just don't get in any more fights. So he leaves and he starts crying, still crying again. So he's thinking about like his life and everything, like at a park, and he hears like some kids like asking another kid to give him money. So he gets frustrated because like, this is my time alone and like you're ruining this. So he goes up to the kids and tells them to like shut up and stuff, and they all run off. And the kid that he helped, was like, oh, thank you like for this, and Takemichi told him like, you need to stick up for yourself. And the kid was like, oh yeah, thank you so much. And he starts talking to the kid for a while. He realized that it's Hina's younger brother. And he's like, oh, like you're Hina's younger brother? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, do you like your sister? And he says, no, not really, she's very bossy. And Takemichi just laughs and said, to protect Hina in the future. And the brother was like, what, why? And he said that 12 years in the future, Hina and him are going to die. And obviously the boy is just like kind of like freaked out, like, what is this man telling me? And he said that you need to protect his sister. And he said, okay, I will. And they shook on it. And Takemichi wakes up and he's in like a hospital. And they're like, what happened? And they're like, oh sir, like you're okay, like you're fine. And he's like, what? Like what are you guys talking about? That you almost got hit by a train, but a man saved you. So the man comes in and it's Hina's younger brother. He's like, good to see you again, Takemichi. And it ends, like the episode ends. And yeah, that's how Takemichi is like. Though that's like a little bit of the first episode. It doesn't really give you much about the character. But I want to talk about Takemichi. Takemichi is just like a very like well written character, I believe. He doesn't give up when he's like in the like an advantage. Like he doesn't never has the advantage. He doesn't give up. Like no matter how many punches you take or take it, and no matter how many punches you throw at him, he won't stop. He will keep getting up. He'll get his point across, which I really like about him. Like he really has a thrive, you know. And yeah, I really do recommend the series. It is very good. It's very entertaining about the plot twists and the characters that you get to know like throughout the series. For today, I believe. But due to the next episode, I want to talk about more about the characters, about Mikey, and about the antagonist. I don't want to say his name yet, but we do like the short description of what it's about. Then I highly recommend you coming back and listening to me talk about more about the characters and how, even though they're bad characters, and how well they're written, how well they go with the series. You know, how even though they're bad, but how very important they are, every little detail they have. So yeah, thank you. I'm your host, Selina Flores, and this was Movie Talk.